shares of Tesla amid reports of layoffs hitting its supercharger team. While CEO Elon Musk says in a post on X that while the company plans to grow that supercharger network, it plans to do so at a slower pace for new locations. Yahoo Finance's Pras Subramanian joining us. Pras with the latest.
Yeah, this. I think the industry is still sort of digesting what's going on here with this move. I think what came as a shock to many automakers and Tesla's partners with the NACS charging network. Some of them telling me that, hey, we're still on track to incorporate that Tesla plug in our cars. We still see I think it's the J134 plug is the way to go in the future. One source told me that he said it was quote unquote crazy that this happened. They were basically blindsided by this move. So we're seeing some analysts talk about how this could slow access, of course, to the network and also kind of the slow access to charging in general. But another analyst told me that this actually charging is a non-core business. And for Musk, it may not actually been a bad idea to cut spending in an area that requires high capex and low returns so far. Maybe that business can kind of evolve slowly, grow slowly, be on its own. Maybe you spin it off, maybe it can actually kind of stand on its own down the line.
I mean, that's an interesting thought because you would think that the infrastructure needs to get built out in order for them to be able to sell the EVs. That's sort of what has stalled or at least slowed the growth rate, right, of EV adoption as well. Another headline, though, coming through from Tesla today, doing away with gigacasting, or potentially. That's the Reuters report.
Right, like the one-piece gigacastings. What Reuters was saying that Tesla, about in the fall of last year, actually decided we can't do this. It's too much money to make one car from one, the chassis being one piece. Currently, right now, they have gigapresses for the front and the rear, which are two big parts that most automakers don't do, and they have a middle part that's aluminum and steel, and they kind of join it all together. Apparently, Tesla, in sort of researching this potential move into manufacturing, decided it was just too expensive and complex right now. And that was sort of the basis for that Model 2, right?
I was going to say, it's important to put it in context, right? We're talking about this particular method because that was supposed to bring costs down, enable them to put out the Model 2 at a price point that is competitive with where things are moving in the EV space.
I mean, it makes you think, let's say, for example, there wasn't a slowdown in EV sales, right? Let's say the demand was still strong. Maybe they would have felt more bullish on investing in these gigapresses and making these one-piece, whatever you want to call it, one-piece chassis for these upcoming cars. But given where we are right now with the market, it perhaps is a prudent move, they think at least, to kind of withdraw and cut back on that, at least right now.
Yeah, it also points to just how significant, or at least how aggressively Tesla feels like they need to move on cutting back, doubling down on robo-taxis potentially.
Right, but then also cutting back on that big gigapress and also the charging, which is such a huge blindsided
core
move.
of the business right now. All right, we'll continue to follow that. Thanks so much for that, Pras.